Hey gang, Mocha Boy here. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning back in. So I've got another recap here from War 53. This was a a GoHo raid against their number 31 by one of our better hoggers in the clan. Now this was a second attack on the base, or actually I think it might have even been the third attack on the base. So we had already sniffed out where the bombs were, and we noticed that, or we discovered anyway, that there were no double bombs. So we were hell-bent on throwing hogs at this. Now the plan for this was going to be this. With any GoHo raid, the idea is to get the AQ down as quickly as possible, trip off the giant bombs, and then send in your hogs in two streams relative to the kill team, and then just staying on top of heals. And it really is that simple. In this particular case, there were no pathing considerations that we had to take into consideration, because there was nothing really. It was just kind of a spread out base, like everything was just out there. There were a lot of internal spring traps, but I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't really make any difference. And he was able to process this for three stars. One of our lower level hoggers did try to take this base, and he came so close, about 97%, but he executed the attack perfectly. And then was able to reveal a bunch of the other traps and bombs for this final follow-up attack. But let's go ahead and watch that. Pan out. Obviously, the first thing that we have to take care of is the lure, and because this CC is accessible from the exterior, a couple of giants is all it takes to dump out that building, and then one archer planted up in the top to get the CC out. Now, mind you, his witches are down. Wizards might have been a little misplaced. They should have gone behind the witches because I mean they got fried before they were able to do anything useful. But the golem has unfortunately wandered outside of the AQ range. But luckily for Zag, he still got his BK, and it's going to be the BK that ends up aggroing the AQ to pull all of the troops into her, take her down. At which point he can start his raid. So really quickly, there are some good examples of a good CC lure, planting the archer to lure the rest of the CC out there. Early witch deployment. Golem down to get the AQ, but in this case it was the BK that ended up doing that job. And then at that point his attack can start. So hogs come in one string up at the top, and doing that, let's see, because the kill team has already processed most of this, the kill team, all they really have to do is kind of swing around the base like this, which is completely fine. You could have just as easily opted to go in this direction, and that would have worked just fine as well. But keeping them together like this makes it a little bit easier to heal. One pack versus two, so that worked out pretty well. And let's just see how they end up kind of rummaging through the base. Now, one interesting thing to note is one of the reasons we don't like deploying in one string is because I believe anywhere above 10 hogs is kind of there's a point of diminishing marginal returns, because what ends up happening is those first 10 hogs take down a defense, but the other 10 behind it are still moving to get into position. So by the time those 10 hogs take down or one-shot that defense, the other ones are just moving and not really doing anything. So rather than have one group process one defense at a time, it's usually more efficient and a lot faster too to send them in two strings, and then if you can get them to consolidate, great. But if not, no big deal. And again, yep, he was able to had plenty of hogs left over. We had freed up this base on for a cleanup revisit, just to ensure that we were staying on top of those 3-star opportunities, and Zag was able to deliver. So great job there. Looking forward to more.